feet above mean tide. Even with the added 30 vertical feet of the lamppost, it was debatable whether Falcon's plunge into the bay would be fatal. The old causeway runs parallel to the new bridge, however, and it's still used as a fishing pier. A 100-foot swan dive onto solid concrete wouldn't be pretty, especially on live television. "You ready to punt yet, Paolo?" The voice came from over Vince's left shoulder, and he recognized the speaker as Juan Chavez, SWAT team coordinator. Vince cut off his megaphone. "Let's talk to the chief." The walk back to the police van was clear of obstacles, and Vince had memorized the way. His long white walking stick was almost unnecessary. He and Chavez entered the van through the side door and sat across from one another in the rear captain's chairs. An officer outside the van slid the door closed as Chavez dialed headquarters on an encrypted telephone. The call went directly to Miami's chief of police, who was watching the standoff on television. Her first words weren't exactly the vote of confidence Vince needed. "It's been over 2 hours now, Paolo. I'm not seeing much progress. It took me almost twice that long to talk him down from the Golden Glades flyover last winter." "I understand that," said the chief. "I guess what I'm asking is, are you comfortable doing this? Now that I'm blind, you mean? Don't get me wrong, I'm glad you decided to stay with the force and teach at the academy. I called you back into the field because you have a history with this guy, but the last thing I want to do is to put you in a situation that you don't think you can handle. I can handle it fine, Chief." "Great, but time is a factor. I shouldn't have to remind you that no one in Miami keeps gloves in the glove compartment. If this sucker doesn't climb down soon, one of those stranded motorists is going to reach for his revolver and take him out for us." "I say we move in now," said Chavez. Vince said, "Don't you think a .308 caliber custom-built thunderstick is a bit of overkill against the homeless guy perched on a lamppost?" "No one's talking about a sniper shot. I just want to move our team closer into position, make them more visible. We need to send a message that our patience is wearing thin. If he thinks SWAT is coming up there after him, he'll jump. The same tactic worked just fine the last time. This time is different. How do you know?" "I can tell." "What? Going blind made you psychic?" That made Vince blink, but dark sunglasses hid plenty of pain. "Shove it, Chavez." "All right, fellas, knock it off," said the chief. "I'm serious," said Chavez. "This isn't the first time we've had to deal with a homeless guy threatening to hurt himself. 9 times out of 10, they just want a little attention. I'd like to know what makes Paolo think this is the real deal." "That seems like a fair question," said the chief. "All right," said Vince. "For one, it may be his 3rd time up on a bridge, but it's the first time that Falcon has made a specific demand, and it's a fairly rational one at that. It's not as if he wants us to make the bubble people stop stealing his thoughts. Just as important, he set a time limit. A short one, 15 minutes. You factor in the stress in his voice, and you've got a man on the edge." "Wait a minute," said Chavez. "Because he shows some signs of clear-headed thinking, that makes him more of a danger to himself?" "In some ways, yes. The only way Falcon climbs down from that lamppost is if he gives up on his demand to talk to the mayor's daughter. Because he still shows some signs of rational thought, he will very likely feel overwhelming humiliation when the television world sees him fail. If we send the SWAT team up that pole before he's ready to accept his public failure, you might as well push him off the bridge yourself." "How about soaking him with a fire hose?" said the chief. "Or maybe a stun gun." "There again, we're on live television," said Vince. "You knock him off that lamppost and we'll have 24 personal injury lawyers handing him business cards before he hits the ground." There was silence, each officer thinking it through. Finally, the chief said, "I suppose we could promise to give him what he wants." "You mean, let him talk to the mayor's daughter?" said Vince. "No, I said promise it. That's his only demand, right?" "Bad move," said Vince. "A negotiator never..."